For centuries now, marine life has been a mystery for biologists all around the world. All sorts of sinister creatures dwell in the depths of the oceans and seas, and we don't even know the half of them. Monstrous fish with fangs, worms deadlier than a chainsaw, murderous French heads, great whites, banded kraits and more lurk in the depths of the ocean, and only the bravest amongst us can imagine coming face to face with these creatures. No doubt scientists know more about space than the ocean. It just seems impossible to navigate the nooks and crannies of these endless water bodies knowing so little about them. The ocean creatures might as well be aliens, for we are unaware of their existence even. Rarely one or two of these deep-sea monsters might surface and get spotted by humans, and today we'll show you some of these lucky sightings of monsters from the deep sea. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, or else one of these terrifying creatures might just make a pit stop in your nightmares. Monkfish. Monkfish is no doubt one of the most horrifying creatures discovered in the oceans. The name monkfish was given to this creature by North Sea fishermen, which is located in the northern part of Europe. It's also called the poor man's lobster in certain places. Other names given to it include fishing frogs, frogfish, goosefish, and deep-sea devils. They sure look like the devil. These fish have large, flat and broad heads that are depressed, and the rest of the body is merely an appendage to the head. This species usually inhabits the bottom of the sea. The pectoral and ventral fins of monkfish are structured to act as feet on the ocean floor. The monkfish body has amazing camouflage capabilities, as it's made in a way to conceal itself in the surroundings as it waits for prey to get closer. Some monkfish species have 3 long filaments that shoot out of the head. The middle one acts as a radar to attract prey. Once the prey has been seized, the monkfish devours it with its long and pointed teeth that are inclined inwards. Multiple species of low-fide anglerfish are found in the North Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, the North Sea and the Mediterranean Sea too. Black swallower. The most notable feature of this fish is the large mouth. Also known as the Gulper eel, it's one of the bizarre-looking creatures found in the ocean depths. This eel has a significantly long whip-like tail. A few specimens found in fishing nets showed these tails were tied into several knots. The tail assists the eel in mobility, and at the end of the tail is a light-producing organ called a photophore. The photophore uses bioluminescence to glow pink and occasionally gives off red flashes. The body of the Gulper eel is not fit for chasing prey, so it uses this light to lure other fish and creatures. Once in range, the eel lunges forward and snaps the prey in its enormous mouth that's much larger than its body. The mouth can open wide enough to swallow animals much larger than the eel itself. The lower jaw of the Gulper resembles that of a pelican. This is also sometimes called the pelican eel. Wolffish. Wolffish is usually found below 60 feet, lying with its head protruding from a hole. They can sometimes be found in shallow waters too. The fish has a strong and elongated body, but the most sinister of its features is the grin on its face, almost like the clown Pennywise from It. It's named the wolffish because of its teeth that resemble the teeth of a wolf. The fish has 4 to 6 fang-like teeth protruding from the front of its mouth. There are several rows of blunt, crushing teeth behind these fangs. The wolffish uses these teeth to smash up the shellfish and sea urchins. The entire inside of its mouth contains grinding molars. The huge head, powerful jaw, and large canines make it a terrifying predator. It usually munches on the hard bodies or spiny invertebrates like crabs and large marine snails. The Atlantic wolffish are not considered a danger to humans and are reclusive creatures who prefer cold waters of the North Atlantic Ocean. Their blood has been found to contain many natural compounds that prevent it from freezing in the icy waters. They're usually solitary creatures, but you might come across several wolffish in their preferred habitat. Zombie worms. Zombie worms are mere 1 to 3 inch long oxidax worms. They were first found living in the bones of a riding grey whale in the deep-sea floor at a depth of about 10,000 feet in 2002. Unlike human zombies, they don't crave brains. Instead, they want bones. These worms are known to extract nutrients from decaying whale skeletons that fall into the deep sea. Although they don't have preference for any particular kind of bones, they've been found colonizing fish bones and cow bones dumped in the sea from a ship. They drill into whatever bone they can find using their roots containing symbiotic bacteria. Feathery plumes splay from the other ends of their bodies and function as gills to extract oxygen from seawater. The worms can, however, retract the plumes back into their bodies if they are disturbed. The worms digest the fats within the bones. The zombie worm lacks a mouth and a stomach and instead secretes acid from its skin which dissolves the bone and frees the fat and protein. Symbiotic bacteria living in their bodies then digest the fat and proteins. Fun fact, all this hard work is carried out by the female worms only. Mystery spearhunter. This unbelievable footage shows a mystery spearhunter trying to hunt fish, but at the depth of 2,000 feet it's nearly impossible to hunt. So what is this creature hunting fish so deep in the ocean? How could a person get this far beneath the surface and use a spear to secure a meal? Maybe it's a mer-person? According to European folklore, mer-people are natural beings with magical and prophetic powers. They're known for loving music and singing to lure sailors. We had no idea they were also masters of spearfishing. While there aren't any depth-related rules in spearfishing, it's really not possible for any human to go this far. Does that mean mer-people actually exist in the depths of the oceans? Goblin shark. There's not much known about this spooky creature. It's been known to reside at the depths of 5,000 feet below the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Oceans. It has an unusual colour ranging from pinkish to purplish to even grey sometimes. There's bright blue colouring around the fins. The shark has flabby muscles and a mushy skeleton. The skin is thin and transparent. Definitely not an inviting sight. The strangest feature of this fish is the jaw, which it can extend in order to ambush prey including fish, squid and crustaceans. The jaws are jutted forward at an incredible 10 feet per second. This is faster than any other shark. At maximum extension, the jaws constitute about 10% of the shark's entire body length. According to researchers, the goblin shark hunts by exploring the electric fields in the ocean depth. Thankfully, the species is found near sea floors to depths of about 3,000 feet and is no threat to humans. Viperfish. If the fangs of wolffish had you frightened, wait till you see the viperfish. Once again, the prey has little hope for escape from the jaws of a viperfish. The huge, muscled, hinged jaw catch prey much larger than the fish itself and then chews it up to bits with a long needle-like teeth. The viper swims towards its victims at high speed and impales them with its deadly fangs. The teeth are often so long they don't fit in its own mouth and tend to poke its own eyes out if the mouth is entirely closed. These fish are also heavily equipped with photophores on the backs of their bodies. There's also a high concentration of photophores in the mouth. There's a thin, long lure extending from the dorsal fin which the fish flashes on and off to attract prey. Fortunately, it's a deep water fish inhabiting the depths of the ocean floors. Anglerfish. This anglerfish seems like an outworldly alien. This fish is incredibly rare, with only 14 dead specimens from various species that are held at the natural history museums worldwide. All these specimens are female. These fish cannot survive in the lab, so the only way to observe them is in their natural habitat. This toothy fish has an expandable stomach and boasts glowing lures and fin rays. Its mating habits are as unique as its looks. Videos of this method were captured in the wild for the first time. It showed that the male anglerfish looks utterly different from the female, to the point you may not consider them the same species if you didn't know better. The male anglerfish has no lures and is quite small, about 60 times smaller in length than the female to be exact. It attaches to the female's belly like a parasite, bites into her and latches on. It fuses with her to obtain nutrients directly from her blood. The male fish stays this way for the rest of its life. It fertilizes her eggs, then becomes a part of her body. Squidworm. This creature was recently discovered by a remotely operated underwater robot exploring the deep waters. This one-of-a-kind free-swimming worm has squid-like limbs and is one of the many strange discoveries awaiting our attention in the depths of the largely unexplored waters. The worm has 25 or more pairs of translucent white paddles arranged on the sides to help it swim. There's about 10 very fragile tentacle-like appendages on the head that are often longer than the body. This slimy, flattened creature has a body that's around 3.5 inches long. The worm also has no eyes and is reliant on frilly organs on its head for smell. There are structures on the tips of the appendages that are specialized to perceive touch and smell. Researchers suspect that it feeds on marine snow. Anatomical and genetic analysis has revealed that it is a segmented worm. Sarcastic French head. This fish from your nightmares is quite small and fascinating. It grows up to 12 inches and is found off the coast of California in the northeast Pacific Ocean. These can make homes out of almost anything, including shells, crevices, rocks and even human trash. The fish may be small, but it looks horrifying. It has needle-sharp teeth which are used to bite into the flesh of its prey. They challenge other French heads by opening their mouths and exposing their ferocious teeth to the rivals. The soft appendages rising from its head are why it's called the French head. These are aggressively territorial fish who fight off anything that comes even close to it, even if it's much bigger than the French head. These cranky little creatures will charge at anything that nears them, including people. They're ambush predators who hide and stake out prey from places offering protection. Deep blue. This shark is the largest ever to have been caught on camera by scientists. It was first spotted in the 1990s. At the time of discovery, it was about 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and weighed about 2.5 tons. Its razor-sharp teeth and massive fins could give anyone nightmares. According to reports, Deep Blue was likely pregnant at the time of this discovery, but it was only the first time it was caught on film. A marine biologist conducting research with his team was the one to find it swimming around their boat. White sharks are notably the most aggressive and dangerous kind of sharks, but Deep Blue did not manifest aggressive behavior. This video footage of her approaching divers in a non-violent and curious manner is proof of that. She's around 50 years old now and estimated to live up to 70 years. Banded sea krait. This spectacular sea snake produces the most deadly and dangerous venom. It's 10 times more toxic than rattlesnake venom. These solitary hunters travel along with various hunting parties like bluefin and goldfish in order to catch fleeing prey. While hunting, they paralyze their victims with the venom and then swallow it whole. The venom attacks the nervous system of prey, leading to convulsions, paralysis, cardiac failure, and death. They have a smooth, streamlined body with a paddle-shaped tail, which makes them efficient swimmers. They can swim forward and backwards to ambush their prey, most commonly eels. After swallowing their prey, they move to a spot on land in order to digest. It's the only amphibious sea snake that can spend up to 10 days on land. This snake lives in the shallow water of coral reefs and mangrove swamps in eastern Indian and western Pacific Oceans. Frilled shark. Unlike other sharks having separate gills, this one has gills going all the way across its throat, hence the name frill shark. Each pair of gills is lined with a red fringe on the edges. No one has observed this shark hunting, but according to scientists, the shark uses its posterior fins as propulsive devices to launch itself towards the prey. The long jaws allow it to swallow large-sized prey. The mouth of this deep-sea shark is lined with 25 rows of backward-facing trident-shaped teeth. There are around 300 of these. The lustrous white teeth contrasting against the brown body also help lure in prey. The shark is also referred to as a living fossil because it's believed to have barely changed since prehistoric times. It lives in the open ocean, mostly residing in deep dark waters and is rarely sighted by humans. Bobbitt worm. This is a tiny creature with an average length of 39 inches, but certain specimens might grow up to 10 feet. Its width, however, rarely exceeds an inch. It's named after a famous criminal investigation about a scorned wife who sliced off a very important part of her abusive husband using a knife. The creature is notorious for its powerful mandibles, which it uses quite efficiently. It attacks prey with these razor-sharp mouth parts. It's one of the most aggressive ambush predators in the ocean, so don't let the size fool you. It burrows its entire body in the soft sediments of the floor. Prey is detected using antennae present on the body while hiding. The standout feature is the speed with which it attacks prey and cuts them in half. Before moving to number 1 on this list, take a look at these strange images that went viral on the internet. When someone mentions a half-fish, half-human looking creature, the first thing to pop up in one's mind is mermaid. Well, not this time. Just take a look at this mysterious human-fish hybrid. It has a male's upper body and the longest merman tail we've seen. There's a lot of speculation about where it came from, what exactly it is, and what it's doing on the deck of this ship. Mermen are mythological deities that are supposed to look like mermaids, only that they are male. The most popular among these deities is Enki from the Sumerian mythology in Dagon, also called the sea god of fertility, but the most famous merman is known to be Greek and was named Triton. Do you think this is one of the long-forgotten mermen of the sea, or just a sham? Do tell us what you think in the comments below. Crown of thorns. Found inhabiting the coral reefs, these are some of the largest starfish species. They can grow up to 3 feet in diameter. It looks like any other starfish, having a central disc from which arms extend outwards. They have multiple soft arms covered in unique spines. These arms are also prehensile, meaning they can grab onto things. The crown of thorns isn't a great neighbour. 1 or 2 of these on a reef may be advantageous for the biological diversity as they limit the growth of fast-expanding coral, leaving space for the slow-growing ones. But if their population increases and they start eating the coral faster, a crown outbreak can occur that can be destructive for the ecosystem. Healthy reefs can regenerate after crown of thorn outbreaks in about 2 decades, but weaker reefs take longer and might not grow sufficiently before the next outbreak. In case you come across one of these, never touch them. It can cause a severely painful sting with swelling that can last for days. That was some scary stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to our channel for more. See you all next time.